patient, enjoy the process, see the good in people, but be prepared to let people go for the better of the team. Don't hire people based on a need for the short term. Hire people based on a long-term vision. You never know that they're going to be a fit until they're a fit. And the problem is everyone has different traumas. The concept of it looks good from my house is no longer a thing. It used to be a thing when I first started where I would only be able to hire people that in my mindset that didn't know anything. Like I was so afraid to hire someone because I felt like the people were going to think that I didn't know what I was talking about, which was true. I didn't know what I was talking about. It started sticking with my first real hire, which was Dave. Dave was my first real hire. And I was so afraid that when Dave found out that I wasn't this super successful business owner, he was just going to jump ship. My intention was to invest in him and make him feel comfortable so he has a place to grow. And I wanted to build a team around him. I shared that in the beginning when everyone around me was saying, no, don't tell them anything. Keep them in the dark. Have your team member do one thing and just let them continue to do that thing over and over again. Don't invest in them. Don't be personal with them. Don't be buddies with them. Don't have heart in business. The more you go against what you're naturally innate to do, the more it's going to be difficult and the more people are going to jump ship just because it's out of alignment with like who you really are. So for me, I'm all heart. Like I bet on people more than I bet on myself because I know that this is what I was born to do. I think if founders would start thinking in that frame of, hey, if I just shared with this individual upfront and transparently what I'm looking to do and how they play into that big picture plan, what's the worst that could happen? It creates clarity for them. It creates clarity for the business that you're operating. And then if there is alignment, they're successful, the business is successful, you're successful, the consumer is successful. It's full circle. I think where the biggest hangup is people are afraid to fail more than they're afraid of looking bad. And once you get over that hump, looking bad is just a part of the process of getting good. And I think that's one of the things that I've accepted. Being a dad has helped me do that. Just because as a father, you don't give up on your kids when they can't walk. You don't give up on your kids when they do things wrong the first time. You just continue to work with them and course correct and make these small adjustments. This way, you're continuing to build them up and get them to feel the good that you need them to feel, but then also the lesson from doing it wrong and how to be able to translate that into a win moving forward. I think being a father is one of the most powerful things as a business owner because people will teach you that business and your personal life are two separate things. They're one. You are one person. You have one identity. And the way you are at work and the way you are at home is not two different things. It's exactly the same. And I think once people accept that, all of a sudden you create alignment with yourself, with your family, and then with your team, because now you're able to actually give 100% into everything versus trying to have this like, oh, I'm wearing my parent hat or my business owner hat. I can't talk to my team and be personal with them because they're going to take advantage of me. All that for me is a lie. I am so upfront and transparent with my team because I would never want to work for someone that had a hidden agenda. I would only want to work for someone that was open and I knew what the vision and mission was because then I get to be a part of that vision and mission. And that creates a partnership. It's not employee versus employer. My perspective on thinking that there's only one type of person is you have to do it. You have to get started. You have to hire someone and then set clear expectations and then just be prepared that that person's not going to work out, but bet on that person to work out. So you don't have 1 foot out, 1 foot in. You go all in on that person, and if the person doesn't show you that they're committed like they originally said, you move on. One of my biggest mistakes was investing too much time, energy, and capital into the wrong people. And by the wrong people, I don't mean that they were wrong or bad people. They just didn't see and believe in the vision, so we had to part ways. I dragged it out for way too long, and what happened was the rest of the team were the ones that paid the consequence because they didn't get my energy. They didn't get my effort. I was putting my energy and effort into the wrong people, and that's not fair. It's not right. So I learned. Now, the people that get my attention and energy are the people that are here, the people that are vested. The people that are just starting out, they get my attention, but it's not the level that the people that are vested that get my attention. And you could talk to any of my guys. They call me for anything personal, whether it's family, you name it. They call me, I'm there for them. I don't care if I'm at a birthday party, if it's Christmas, I don't care. Whatever they need, it's my responsibility to help them and serve and support them, because in return, they're doing the same thing. It's not a trade-off. I do this because this is who I am. And I think this type of way of being is contagious. So I think when the founder has the right perspective and the plan is long-term enough, everybody wins on a level that they never thought was possible. But if it's not true, if it's not genuine, if it's not really who the founder is and he's pretending, everyone will smell it. Everybody will smell it. My biggest hang up when I was starting to really settle into this mindset, because it was more in line with who I am, fear. You're just fearful of, well, what if it doesn't work out the way I imagine? And what I did was I basically just thought, all right, well, let's think of the worst case scenario. If this doesn't work and they think that I'm not the person that I'm showing them that I actually am, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to quit. And then what are my options then? I can either show them who I really am and be that level on 10x, or I don't do a business. I don't start a business and I go work for someone and then I stay the same and I never grow. And for me, that's just not a part of the plan. Being comfortable with the uncomfortable, and then there's being out of alignment. I think they're two totally different things that they can be confused, where it's like, well, discomfort is because of I'm out of alignment. That's not true. If it's discomfort with strategy and you know exactly what you're trying to accomplish, then that discomfort is assumed. That's something that you know you're working towards. So when you're in it, you can't run. You have to go through it. The discomfort because of out of alignment is you have someone that's on your team that's out of alignment with core values. They're lying. They're stealing. They're not serving the customer to the standard that you set and that they agreed that they were going to serve. That's out of alignment. So every night when you go to bed, you have that one team member that's doing that thing. That's called out of alignment. That is not going to help you grow in the sense that it's strategy. However, you will grow from it, because each time it happens, the pain will be so loud and obvious that you will never do it again, or you will. And then hopefully you learn the second time. I think that historically I'm a slow learner. And I bet on people more than they bet on themselves. So one of the things about me when I was younger, I always believed in people. I always saw the good in people. And I don't know if it was because of my upbringing, being raised by someone that wasn't like that. I basically have to tell myself to slow down. Just shut up. Don't say anything to them about what you believe in them. I have to take it really slow, because the minute I meet someone, I just see so much potential. And as I get to know them, I see even more. But what I've done historically and what I do now is I see it, I make note of it mentally, and then I just let time unfold. And then if it matches up, I just continue investing in that person. My thought is that I let them down. My initial thought is that I let them down, and then I have to just figure out where I messed that up. To be honest, I don't even really think about it. When someone's not a fit, I move on so quick these days, just because it's happened so many times that without repetition, you never know how to get there. So every time there's a lack of alignment or a lack of clear expectations on my behalf, which is mostly what's happened. So historically, most of the people that have quit or have been let go from Super Service Today are because of me. 99% of them are because of me. I didn't set clear expectations. I didn't know how to explain to them how they can win with our setup, our structure. And that's an ever living, like ever growing thing. It's always changing. It's always evolving with how people can win, like what the benchmarks are for them to know whether they're being successful or not. But how do I handle it? I don't even think about it. People are not a fit. All I'm thinking about, I do think about one big thing. If my team is exposed to this person and they're not a fit, I will disrupt my culture and I will ruin things for them. And that's not fair. So I don't sacrifice anything for my team. I don't allow anything to get in the way of my team from being successful. Because if I do, then it's my fault that I allowed a cancer in the culture, that people are not aligned and people are just selfish and they're not really thinking about the team, which is a pretty common thing. I think the biggest takeaway, if I was to talk to myself 16 years ago, I would prepare myself by saying, enjoy the process, be prepared for people that are not going to see the vision, people that are not going to be prepared, people that are not willing to put in the effort and work, but their words will say a totally different story. Be patient. Enjoy the process. See the good in people, but be prepared to let people go for the better of the team. Don't hire people based on a need for the short term. Hire people based on a long-term vision. You never know that they're going to be a fit until they're a fit. And the problem is everyone has different traumas. In 16 years in business, what I've realized is that people don't know what they want. They don't know how to explain what they want. They don't know how to go through an exercise to figure out what they want because they're always copying what everyone else is doing. So they're trying to just kind of fill their void. So if I was to talk to myself 16 years ago and give any type of advice, I would share, take your time. Know that it's a numbers game. You gotta talk to a lot of people. You have to interview a lot of people. You have to hire a lot of people, and one at a time, and develop that individual in order to see if they have the potential to do the thing that you need them to do and to be a partner in business, not an employee. You don't want just a spoke in the wheel. You want someone that's going to help build with you and believe in your vision. Without volume, you'll never be able to collect great people. That's an important piece. You have to collect great people. You have to be a magnet for great people. And the only way that happens is by volume and getting clear on exactly what you need and who you want to do it with in order to serve one type of client. So the more crystal clear you can get on who you are as an individual, who you're looking for as a team member, and then where you're going, everything else will start to fall into place. You just have to start. So when I started this channel, it was difficult because I didn't want to start a channel and then come off like I was this expert, because I still feel like I'm trying to figure it out myself. Even though we've had tremendous success, I wake up every day at zero. I wake up every day thinking I know nothing and I have to do my very best, take all the lessons and apply them in a way that it sticks from my past experiences. If you're sick and tired of learning from people that have sold their business 10 years ago and they're trying to teach and preach to you about what's working today, I think I can help you in a way that we're doing it real time. So the reason why I created this is because, one, I want to document what I'm doing so I can reflect back and say, okay, wow, this is what you look like 10 years ago and here's where you are. Well done. Or not. I want to be authentic. I want to be able to document my stuff. And it's more for my kids. It's more for my children to see that I was willing to be brave and I was willing to have courage and do the things that were uncomfortable for people that were on my team. And I think that's the most important thing for a leader to do. And what better way than leading by example for your kids? If you like these videos, if this is valuable for you, like, subscribe, and follow. And I hope I can continue to make content that's valuable for you moving forward.